In this video, we're going to look at how we create our HTML headings and paragraphs. So essentially, we're adding text to our HTML page in order to actually see it in the web browser. So previously, we've gone and we've set up our Visual Studio Code. We've included our live server extension. So if you haven't done that, go and have a look back at the first activity, the first video. That will go through everything you need to know there. But what we're looking at is adding in some text into our HTML file and then actually viewing it in our web browser. So it gives us some text in the activity, activity 2 on the Keylearn course. All right, we're going to put that in, and you'll notice when I put it in, I'm going to type it out. All right, so I'm going to type the first one there, which has H1 inside the set of angle brackets, and then my first web page. So the angle brackets are what we call a HTML tag. So that tells the web browser that this is a certain type of element that we want you to handle. So in this case, they're saying it's a heading 1 or a main heading for our web page. The bit inside the tag, so we've got our opening tag is just H1, and then you can see we've got slash H1. This is our closing tag or end tag. All right, so open tag, closing tag. Inside the tags is the actual information or content that we want to put as our heading. So in this case, my first web page. All right, so you'll notice as well when you've typed that there's a little white dot next to the index.html tab at the top. What this is saying to us is that we've got unsaved changes. All right, so we can go through and go File and Save to make sure we're saving our work, or the shortcut is hold down the Control key and press S on the keyboard. And you'll notice that dot's gone away, so that means that this file is currently saved. Okay, so we always need to save our work before we test it, because the browser will only get the information from the saved file, not directly from here. All right, so the next line is a paragraph. So paragraph uses the P tag. All right, and you'll see one of the cool things about Visual Studio Code, once you've set it up, is it does do the closing tags for you. So it's really easy to add stuff. You don't have to forget about missing any. So you can see it says my name is ... Obviously put your name in there. So my name's Mr. Lawson. I'm going to put that in there. Again, Control S on the keyboard, get rid of the white dot to save our work. All right, so we've got a heading 2 there, and you'll notice as well, I am typing all this stuff out. You might be wondering, why are we typing this when it's written there for us? We can copy and paste it. All right, and you certainly can. You know, once you get into web development, we copy and paste a lot of things. We use templates and that sort of thing all the time. However, when we're first learning how to code, it is important that you are spending time interacting with it. You think back to when you were learning how to talk and how to read English. All right, it's not something that you just sort of copied what people were saying. It took time for you to learn and interact with other people talking to you, and, you know, looking at books, even if you didn't understand anything. And then eventually you start to understand letters and sounds. Eventually those sounds and letters turn into words. You know, those words turn into sentences. And then, you know, here we are now. All right, so typing it forces you to spend more time interacting with it. If it made sense to write it out physically, I'd probably make you do that. But obviously, because it's on the computer, it doesn't make sense to get you to write it out. So I've typed in the last line there, which is another paragraph, just saying my favorite color is blue. Again, you're more than welcome to change that. If blue is your least favorite color, you can choose whatever you like. All right, so again, we're going to Control S to save our work. All right, so we want to actually see what this looks like in our web browser. So what we need to do is we right click, and you can right click anywhere in the HTML area. But you'll see one of the options down towards the bottom is to open with Live Server. So that's the extension that we installed in Activity 1. Okay, so the purpose of that is we can just simply click on it. You'll get these messages, and it's popped up on the wrong screen for me. But I'll just bring it back over so you can see. So we've got heading 1, my first web page. So you can see it's really big and bold. You know, you've got a regular paragraph with my name is Mr. Lawson. My favorite color is heading 2. So you can see it's a bit smaller than heading 1, but still bolder and bigger than the regular paragraph. And then blue. All right, so one of the really cool things with using Live Server as well, and it's going to be a little bit tricky to do. I might just shrink both of these down a bit. I'm just going to hide the Explorer so we've got a bit more space. That's the folder, I don't need that. I'll make this a little bit bigger, but it doesn't really matter. So one of the great things about this is if we, actually I just realized you can't really see the writing there. I'll just make that a bit smaller. So if I go in and decide, no, you know what, my favorite color is actually red. Once we save that, if it doesn't update automatically, you can press the refresh button or F5 on the keyboard. We'll do that too. But you can see it shows our changes. So I'll try it again, see if it works now. Green, save. Not like it. That's okay. Slow at the moment. All right, but this is what we mean by a coding environment, is we can now see our changes in our browser, you know, by refreshing. Okay, remember every time you do make a change, you do need to save. So if I change it back to red, all right, but I don't save it, you can see the white dot there. Doesn't matter how many times I reload it, it's going to stay green. As soon as I save it, refresh, it's going to change to red. Okay, so that's our second activity done, looking at adding text to our web page and then displaying it in the browser.